Swinging a high drive into center field. Hits at the wall. It is gone! Casas does it again. It's gone! It's into the bullpen! This game is tied! This game is tied!
He swings and rips one to center field. It's high, it's deep, it's back, it's gone! Sale winds, he fires. Swing and a miss, strike three, it's over! The Red Sox have won the World Championship!
Welcome back to Play Tessie. It is a special edition episode today because we are showing you guys our interview with Portland Sea Dogs reliever and Red Sox prospect Christopher Troye, CT. He's a friend of the program, one of our guys. We met him in spring training with Bradfo. Bradfo introduced us, and we've kept in touch since then. He is really active on social media. If you don't follow him, Twitter especially, his Twitter account is Christoph Troye, Troye. He throws absolute gas. You are going to see this guy in the majors, whether it be this year or next year. It'll happen. But for now, he's in Portland with the Sea Dogs at Hadlock Field. And Sammy and I made the trip this past weekend to see him and a few of the other guys and watch the team play. Hell of a trip, but it was a really good time getting to sit down with CT, or rather stand up with CT. We didn't sit. Sammy, trip takeaways, CT takeaways, what do you got?
I think it was funny when we went up there, we didn't tell CT we were coming to do media with him. We kind of just went up there and figured we'll see who we can talk to, who we have time for. But we knew that if we had to target one person, we had to get CT just because he's big on social media, like you said, and he likes doing this stuff. So then when he came out of the clubhouse and saw us, he was like, "You guys are the people I'm doing media with?"
That was great.
He was hyped. We were excited to see him. So that was funny. It kind of didn't cross my mind until that moment. I'm like, oh yeah, we didn't even tell him. And here we are. But yeah, it was good seeing him. It was like seeing an old friend almost. And we chat with him on Twitter all the time. Like you said, great follow. The way he uses social media is it's unique, I guess you could say. And he uses it, won't give too much away from our interview with him, but it's kind of like leveraging himself in a good way. And it's a good way for fans to get to know him to interact with the fans. And the fact that he's doing it before he's even in Boston, he's playing for the Sea Dogs and he's already getting ahead of this. I just think it's really smart. It can't hurt. And it leads him to talking to two guys like us.
Well, that's the beauty. That's the beauty. You said it can't hurt. I wish more guys had that mindset, because I feel like so many guys think that if they're on social media, it's going to hurt them. But that's just, I feel like, not the way it is nowadays. And CT is really tapping into this in a way that other athletes just aren't doing it, especially before they make it. Like, you don't see a lot of, like, think about like other sports, like high school football players that are like definitely going to go D1 in college, like leveraging their social media to help boost their brand, boost their careers. Like this, having Red Sox fans on your side and in your corner and liking you goes a long way. Like, I don't know if people realize that, but CT is definitely tapped into that on social media. And we talked about that with him in our interview. But yeah, I will say, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're not watching this on YouTube, you should watch it on YouTube, because the end is my favorite part of the interview.
Yeah.
Don't want to give too much away, but end is the best part.
Yeah, I think, what do you think? Just jump right into it?
Yeah, let's send it right in. So here is our interview down at Hadlock Field, or rather up at Hadlock Field, with CT Christopher Troye. We're here with CT Christopher Troye. CT, you're in Portland, man. It's beautiful out today. How you doing?
Good, bro. Good. It's a long season, and I mean we're a couple weeks into it, but it's nice to get the ball rolling. It's nice to be in the swing of things.
How have you felt on the mound so far this year? We last saw you in spring training. We saw you. Our parting game was you getting Acuna. Now you're here in Portland. You've thrown a few games this year. How you feel?
Feel good. You know, it's like I said. You know, it's early, so prioritizing health, and as long as we stay healthy, as long as we're putting ourselves in a position to continue to get reps, continue to get innings, we'll be all right.
We want to talk to you about your use of Twitter, Red Sox Twitter, however you want to define it. When did you decide that you wanted to be active on that platform and not kind of like, push it to the side?
After I read Naval Ravikant's The Navalmanac. It's a it's a book essentially from a guy named Naval Ravikant, Eric Jorgensen, and Tim Ferriss. If you guys have heard of Tim Ferriss, he wrote the foreword. But good book, and after reading that book is when I decided to get socially active.
And let's dig into that. What about it? Which part of that book made you think it would be, beneficial for you and your brand to use these platforms?
Yeah, I mean, it's the invention of digital leverage, right? So digital leverage is either code or media, essentially. That's what Naval says. And, obviously I invest in real estate. So financial leverage in that asset, in that realm is, you're taking on debt to buy assets. And as long as you can return a greater interest rate than the interest rate on your debt, then in theory, you should be able to do that in perpetuity. So with digital leverage, it's no longer that 1 to 5, that 20 to 80% ratio, like it is in the financial world where it's 20% down payment. But it's the creation of infinite leverage. And so that's when understanding digital leverage, understanding the way to leverage either code or media has been a huge gameplay in terms of what I'm doing in terms of my portfolio businesses.
So when you're talking about digital leverage, are you talking about leverage in terms of like engagements, or just in terms of just getting your voice and your opinions and your story out there? Like what is the leverage you see?
The leverage is building a community, building a fan base, building people that I genuinely like interacting with, like you guys. Think about how many interactions we've had leading up to this interview right now, and whether that was in social media, that was in Acuna talking about the flannel. You know what I'm saying? Like all of those things is why you do it, because then you build a network, then you build communication, then you build a community, then you build an audience, and it's less about taking a bigger slice in the pie, and it's more about growing the pie, and that's what it is. So we're growing the pie.
Yeah, I just think it's so smart because like you're here in AA, right? You're making your way. You're getting closer to the bigs. Like we'll see this year, next year. Like I think you'll be there. It's just you've grown the amount of people that know you. You've grown the amount of people that root for you. Like you've got such a big community of people on social media that root for you specifically because you interact with them. Is that the goal you had in mind, was to just build that community to sort of give you a little, not like a push like it's going to help you get there, but just maybe a mental push? Like you've got a whole group of people behind you now that you may not otherwise have.
Yeah, I mean it's nothing more than just sharing the journey, and interacting with people on a similar journey, just in a different industry, just in different fields, just doing different things. I'm on the mound, you guys are behind the mic, so it's just an opportunity to engage, and that's how opportunities happen. Opportunities are somebody knows somebody that knows somebody that helped you. And so if you just increase your surface area of luck by being a good person, or aiming to be a good person and aiming to be genuine, aiming to have good interactions, then you're setting yourself up to take advantage of those opportunities. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you that nothing sells like performance does. So, if you're talking about optimizing enterprise value, 99% of the value for me as a player is going to come from my on-field performance. And I feel like as long as I'm using the time to take care of that 1%, as opposed to playing video games or something like that, that's something I can live with at night. Not saying it's right or wrong, but it's just who I am,
Yeah. What's the coolest thing that you've learned about like the Red Sox, Sea Dogs, Woo Sox, that fan base? What's the coolest thing you've learned about the fan base?
They do it, dude. It's cold out here. It's freezing out here. From California, just came from Fort Myers, Florida, where it was 90 degrees and sunny, and we're tanning by the pool, But, bro, the fans still show up. They're bundled up, and they're still cheering on their Sea Dogs. So I expected nothing less out of a Boston Red Sox fan base. Honestly, there's some gritty fans.
Yeah, you could do a lot worse than being in Portland. Like some of these minor league cities, like you could do a lot worse than Portland.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Sammy, grab that quote. I sent Sammy a quote. I got it from I think it was your Instagram.
Cool.
I wanted to ask you about this one. Sammy, you can read it off.
All right. Every master, both in chess and in business, learns more from studying the moves that led to defeat than the ones that led to victory.
Yeah, talk a little about that quote. Why did you post that quote? How do you apply that quote to both your life and to your baseball career?
Failure's feedback. If you if you put yourself in positions to either fail or succeed, and you succeed, well, you learn something. There's something that you could take away. And if you failed, there's also something that you could take away. So that's why I'm not all excited about the 4 innings of work that I've had up to this point, is because I know it's just a number along some continuum of time where if I just want to be the best version of who I can be, then it's just going to be about failing over and over and over and learning from each failure to get to eventually who you want to become.
It really is all about learning from your failures, because you're going to fail. Everyone's going to fail at everything.
Is there like a specific failure that you've had along the way that you point to that was like the biggest learning lesson for you?
Dude, it's funny. A few days ago, I actually tweeted this. I was talking about my outing at UCLA when I was at UC Santa Barbara. I don't know if you guys read that. Essentially, what I was saying was I failed, and it was because I really wanted to win for the team, really wanted to win for my brothers, my best friends, and I was supposed to be the guy, go out there, walk 4 straight, get yanked, end up losing the game, big game. And as I think about and reflect on that failure, my takeaway was I just needed to care less about outcomes. I needed to detach from outcomes, and caring too much is almost as bad as caring too little. So somewhere in the middle.
I did read that, and at the time, I'm thinking to myself, it's just like, yes, you're a baseball player, and it is like the coolest job in the world to be a baseball player. But something, you break down that failure, that can apply to anybody in any walk of life, and being able to read those things, especially coming from you guys, because you're so influential, like that is so helpful for people. It's like when people come out about like things with their mental health, like people deal with stuff, and it's always helpful to know that guys that people look up to deal with those same things.
Bro, but think about how influential even you guys are, or anyone at home. You know, you can influence the 4, 5, 6 people that you come in contact with every day, and most of us, it's more than that. You know, so as long as you are just doing what you can, then who's the judge?
All right, you got one more?
Yeah, we got to talk about Maine.
Yeah, exactly.
Maine, because there's some grimy locations for minor league teams, but this is not one of them. This is like, it does not get much better than this.
Portland's
What's your
awesome.
Favorite part about playing here in Portland and Maine in general?
It's got to be the food, bro. The restaurant scene in downtown Portland is actually incredible.
Via Vecchia.
Via Vecchia, powered by Via Vecchia, baby. Shout out. No, I'm kidding. For the few thousand that will see this, Via Vecchia, Portland, Maine. But no, bro, the food, the restaurant scene, me and a few teammates love to go try out new food wherever we're at. And Portland's a good spot to call home for that reason.
For sure.
It's crazy because, like, you're so close to Boston, and I feel like so many minor league cities, if you're this close to the major league city, it's like you'll just spend all your time there. But to be honest with you, it's like, how could you not spend your time here? There's just so much to do. There's so many good people, so much good food. Like, you see it. People come out to these games. Like, people love
People are much nicer here too than in Boston.
Yeah, they really
it's
are.
weird for me.
Are
Like,
they?
we drive up here. I mean, we're not that bad in Boston, but you drive up here and it's just like so friendly. I'm a little on guard. Like, what do you want from me? But no, it's great. I like it. It's
Yeah, it's a good
the
spot,
main
bro.
kindness. There's still one thing you don't have though. We talked about it. You mentioned it already. The flannel.
The flannel.
And we have a Play Tessie gift for you.
No way. No way.
There you are.
Let's go. Let's go.
Mean mug it.
Thank you, guys. Nugget. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you. Good to see you, man.
Thank you, guys. Gordo.
Thanks, man. Appreciate the time.
Good to see you. boy.
Enjoy that flannel.
Good luck,
That was
man.
awesome.
It's double X.
Yeah, we had no idea. It's like, how do we get this to fit him?
No, double X is perfect. Let's go, boys.
All right, we'll see you, man.